I'd not see any guy being like, I want to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
I want a woman to come in and provide for me.
No, some of them do.
You're 25, married, you know, got a child. For this society, that's like so young.
Well, actually, it's funny enough because some woman said to me, "You look so young to have kids."
Men aren't afraid of marriage, they're afraid of divorce.
But people have been telling me horrible things about everything, about marriage, about kids, and this is... where did we start?
Yeah.
I got carried away. It was
no.
sitting here with me for a long time, and it's very important that you don't listen to everything people say to you.
Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we love to talk about all things dating, relationships, marriage, and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of person and relationship we want. So without further ado, please welcome Stasia to the show. Stasia, welcome.
Hi everyone.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. The sun is shining for us.
Okay. Why okay? Yeah. Just okay.
Well, okay.
I normally say okay, but yeah.
You know, gratitude is attitude for happiness. The sun is shining. We're here going to have a fun conversation. Do you know what I mean? We've got a couple of H2Os going. Water is really important. So we've got a lot to be grateful for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Stasia, I'd love to jump straight in. Okay. So first tell us your age or age range, asking a lady her age. And one thing a guy should know about you if he was going to take you on a date.
So I'm 20, my age, right? My age is 25.
Okay.
And what was the other question?
What should a guy know about you if he was going to take you on a date?
I probably should know that I'm quite straight with what I say. So they probably should be ready for that and not be scared of that or offended.
Okay.
So I don't normally walk around and be like,
Yeah.
And it's probably because that's the thing that can scare people. That's probably one of the most important ones to know.
Okay, that you're like a straight talker, straight shooter.
Yeah, that I like to be like firm with my jokes and like just, you know, just things like that. And some people, not only guys, some people just get scared of stuff like that.
Okay. So, have you always found that some guys that maybe you've talked to before, does that make them go, oh, is it like a shock for them or?
It's just all people are different. And all the, you know, how we go into groups, like with our friends, we have certain groups. And sometimes when you come out your group and jump into another one, people are like, ooh, you're really different, or, you know, things like that. And so it's not really, they're just like, ooh, that's different. That's interesting. But I don't think they like, you know, get shocked or whatever. It's just they can take it in the wrong way, which is my way is not to offend or do something like that. Yeah,
of course. And you know, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you know, you were saying before we started shooting that you're from Russia. You know, you came to UK, you know, a few years ago. How's the landscape? I mean, because you have a husband, right?
Yeah.
And how long have you guys been together for?
We've been together for 4 years.
4 years. Yeah. So how long? My producer's clapping right now. What's the landscape like compared to, I don't know, dating in Russia compared to like come to UK? I guess you came to UK with someone, but what have you seen? What differences have you seen?
I did come to UK a few times before that.
Okay.
I had my ex-boyfriend is from here.
Okay.
I was in a relationship as well, but you know, it actually was before COVID, so I kind of seen UK being like before COVID, which is very different from like what it is now.
Yes.
So what's the difference? Here, everyone's more casual about things. Obviously, you get that in every country, but I feel like here it's on another level because people are so different nationalities, different everything. Like people are very different. In Russia, you get Russians, a little bit of Chinese, a little bit like, but a little bit. Mostly it's like Russians.
Yes.
And we like know each other. So it's because Russian sees a Russian and you're like, okay, I get it. But when you're here, you meet so many different, like the things I found out every time, everyone has different like traditions and it's a lot to learn. So here it's more complicated from what I see.
Okay.
And complicated and and at the same time, it's very casual. People get into relationships, and there's like so many varieties and everything. And it's not just because, you know, it's like the age or it's because everyone's different and got different needs, different desires. So it's just different.
Yeah, of course. So would you say that in Russia, do you feel that people are a lot more intentional about we are dating to get married?
Maybe. Okay. Obviously, you get like especially
Yeah, some playboys play girls. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But in general, it's more clear.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I'm just familiar with because I'm from there.
Of
And I'm
course.
like, yeah, that's my country. Like Moscow is my city. I know everything. But I do get that feeling. So yeah.
Do you feel more clear as in a guy's more like, I'm pursuing you for this?
Yeah, I just know the steps, how the thing's gonna go, you know?
Sure.
So I kind of, yeah, we're gonna like play with each other a little bit, like flirt. And then we're gonna move on, go for a date. Maybe we're gonna ghost each other for a little bit. Okay, like spice it up.
Yeah,
and then whatever. And it's like, yeah, you get some guys that will be different, but in general, it's like quite I can predict. Here
you can't predict.
Thank God I'm married. I would no.
So you said like, for example, there you're like, okay, cool. You know, you meet each other, might go on a date. You know what the next step is. You know what the next step's going to be. So for here, what was something here, like a process that you felt was a curveball that you're like, I don't get it.
I don't get. That's a hard question. Probably like in general how like guys act, if we're talking about guys, but it's also about girls as well, to be honest.
Lay on me
how
about
they act about relationship. I don't know how to explain that. It's just when I said it's more casual, and you know how people been saying that, I don't know if you heard that, you probably did, that dating scene in the UK is quite tricky. Like it's really hard to find like to become a couple with someone, to get married and all stuff. And I don't think people in here get married a lot.
I would say that in the West, marriage is going down. I think a lot less guys want to get married. I still hear a lot of women expressing they want to get married. I think there's some women, I've seen more women saying now like they're not fussed if they do or don't. But I think the majority of women that I've seen, they're like, they want to get married, they want to have a family. But less guys are kind of like, don't know if marriage is for me.
Yeah, but then, sorry, I'm completely off the topic.
Yeah, go on.
It's just really interesting for me because, like, what does it mean of the marriage? But if you were someone and you were someone for a long time, isn't that type like what is it that scares everyone about the marriage? Is it just literally the legal paperwork stuff, or
for men? Yes.
Okay.
Men are afraid of.
They just don't want to give anything to women, to their loved one.
I think what it is men aren't afraid of marriage; they're afraid of divorce.
Yeah.
And the stats in, at least we're talking like places like UK, Canada, America, Australia, like the Western world, I would say in that sense. You know, it shows that women initiate 70 to 80% of divorces, and you know sometimes people can change over time. And I think marriage isn't seen as like it's not seen as a commitment to duty. It's more about, oh, we do this because it's going to make us happy and we love each other. But originally marriage was about the promise you make to someone, the commitment you say to someone, you know, like people will say vows till death do us part. And then they'll go, I'm not happy. And then they just leave. So I think for a lot of guys, they're like, and as well, I think especially my generation, you know, this generation of guys, they've seen a lot of their fathers, uncles, their favorite celebrities, their idols get absolutely ruined by divorce. And so they're like, why would I sign myself up for that? And things as well, it's not like back in the day where children outside of wedlock was taboo. Or like, you know, if you're living with someone and you're in a relationship for X amount of years, you're not married, everyone's looking at you weird. Like it's very more accepted, you know, like people have children outside of wedlock all the time. People live with their partners and they're not married all the time. So I think a lot of guys, and you know, I understand for a lot of women, they come from the sentimental place, oh, it's what it means and it's love. And as guys, we can appreciate that, but guys think very logically with things, and they go, well, what do I, you know, like if I'm with a girl for 10, 15 years, what do I get by signing that piece of paper, really? Like there's nothing now that you can do. There's nothing you can do inside marriage that you can't do outside of marriage. Do you know what I mean? The only benefit that guys, I guess the technical benefits of marriage is like the tax break.
I don't know about that, by the way.
Yeah. So it's like if you're married, I think it just like, it doesn't, and you're both earning, it puts you in a lower tax bracket. So you just tax less essentially. But outside of that, And then I guess, okay, if your partner's in hospital, you have absolute right to go see them because you're their spouse. But guys are looking at marriage and they're just saying like, what benefit do I get from signing that dotted line? But the irony is a lot of guys do want a life partner.
Yeah.
A lot of guys do want a wife, but they're like, they don't want the state involved in their affairs, because if things go wrong and there's things you can't control, it screws them a lot of the time. And divorce is the biggest reason why men over the age of 40 commit suicide.
Now you said all of that to me and I'm like, okay, actually, because obviously marriage is quite it's romantic,
Of course.
It's maybe if I think about it longer, I will come up with some like benefits of marriage. But in general, piece of paper, like it's interesting what you said.
Yeah, because I think, and this is something I've heard a guy say, so I'm interested to see what you say. Like, if you knew that whoever you get married to, should the worst happen and you get divorced, if you knew, okay, he's twice more likely to leave you than you are to leave him. Okay, so he's twice more likely to be like, I'm dissatisfied, I'm leaving. And when he does leave, you're responsible for making sure he's sexually satisfied, even past that.
As in myself.
It doesn't have to be you. It can be you, or it could be someone else that you facilitate. But if that was like, cool, if you choose to get married on that dotted line, that's the responsibility you take with this guy, regardless of how it goes. Would you see it differently?
But does he, is it the same for him?
No.
Oh, just me?
Just you.
So let me get it right before I answer. So I'm marrying him.
Yep, he's twice more likely to leave.
And I need to make sure
he's sexually satisfied even if he divorces you.
For the rest of his life.
Until he gets married again.
Oh. Yeah, but if, for example, he wants to leave me, he leaves. And then I don't have to, okay, I can supply him, or this is what you're asking. Or?
Sure, either you can do it yourself, or, you facilitate another woman to do it. Of course.
Me? Yeah, right? I don't care. If he leaves, whatever.
But you have to be like, cool, this is a woman that, will... Like you take that responsibility of maintaining his sexual lifestyle of what he's used to. So if he's used to having sex twice, 2-3 times a week, even if he leaves, you still have to make sure that he still gets that.
Okay, well, it's hard because obviously when someone leaves you, not you leaving someone.
Yep.
Maybe you still got feelings, or even if you don't have feelings, you will be quite hurt.
Yes.
And then do you want to feel like you have to satisfy him? It's like,
you're just responsible for him, yeah.
Or or being responsible for that. No. But then it's just weird and not good. I think it would mess up my mental health a lot. Leaving is messing up people, but doing that's
Yeah, that's exactly how guys see it.
Okay.
Because at least this is definitely in the States, at least, right? And I think potentially in Canada as well. So, woman's twice more likely to leave. If she does leave, and let's say you worked hard, she also claims a lot of your assets. She can clean you out, and because she's used to the lifestyle that you provided as a man, if you're that male provider, you are still responsible to make sure she lives that lifestyle even after she leaves you.
This is very clever. We just said a really good example,
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not just about papers and it's also about trust between people. So
would you sign that contract though? With the example I gave you?
No, maybe not. But
exactly, Stasia.
No, but okay.
Moving on. No, I'm joking.
Maybe
I'm joking.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe yes, though, because what I'm saying about trust. If you, I don't know, I married someone I trust.
Of course, I assume everybody does.
Yeah, and then it would turn really ugly if, we decide to divorce. And it's gonna turn really ugly with but this is where I take that risk, trusting, and in that trust I also feel like I'm giving love, I'm giving that trust, and it also fulfills myself. So it's just, yes, piece of paper and all of that, 100%, it's not nice and it can turn like that, but at the same time, I'm taking a risk.
So
And
even if that was the case, like you're responsible for maintaining his sexual lifestyle
maybe, yeah.
and he leaves, you would still sign
Yeah,
that
if
dotted
I
line.
trust, if I love, and if but is it 100% like that, or if he wants to? Like,
What do you mean?
so is it gonna be like that? I will have to buy papers,
Yeah,
or
like it'll be legally enforced that you have to maintain
yeah.
his sexual
So it's
lifestyle.
not gonna be like he's gonna say, "Oh no, it's okay." Can it be
What?
the case of that?
No, he'll take it because what man wouldn't want his sexual lifestyle to be
Well,
fulfilled?
I don't know, because he used to love me and he respects me.
Yeah, but he said like if he's leaving you,
No, but he might leave peacefully. It's not about leaving.
oh, he might.
Yeah, you know
It's possible.
how many people divorce and they live peacefully. They just like, oh my god, I'm tired of you, and I'm tired of you, and let's just do it. And women also work. It's not like just like men only work,
I
and
know,
then
but
we're gonna split everything that he has. She
that
has something,
that
and
is true.
sometimes, yeah.
But even women still work, they still seek a man who can provide though, even though she can work.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them, but from what I've seen is that especially if they want a family. So if they don't want a family and they don't want kids, then I see less so. But if they want a relationship, they want family, they want kids, even if she's killing it, she still wants a man who can provide for her.
I don't know, but it's not always about money. It's
No?
like sometimes they want the men to provide. I don't know. Maybe sometimes woman works and men's with the kids at home and doing all that
Like a
stuff.
stay-at-home dad.
Yeah. So he provides care, all of that. Like, so they're looking for either. I don't know. So I don't think it's always about money.
No, it's not always about money, but
It's
I guess
majority. I agree that majority. Like, for example, I've been raised how I've been raised.
yes.
Is I'm looking for a man who's gonna be providing, who's gonna be I don't know how to say it, like the word, not main in the family, but a very, how to say that, like a man figure.
Yes.
Which I
A
was
masculine
brought up
figure.
like that from what I saw.
Sure.
But at the same time, now I'm like thinking about it and whatever. I don't think men should have that much responsibility on their shoulders, because we have to share responsibilities, because
I don't
sometimes
disagree.
it's a bit too much
I
on the
agree with you.
guys. Yeah.
So, for example, you said about the stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
So if we were going to take out of 100 women who do want a family, how many of them do you think are looking for a stay-at-home dad where she's going to have to provide?
I know the majority would not. They look for what I said, like how I've been raised.
Yeah.
It's just because, but I do think that world is changing quite a lot at the moment.
I think it's starting to swing the other way.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that people are. I think over the past few decades, it's been a lot more modern, contemporary, less traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the pendulum starting to swing the other way. I think people are starting to seek more traditional roles and values.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course, the world has changed, but it's funny because, women under the age of 30 actually out-earn their male counterparts now. So women are killing it, but they still want a guy who's on their level or more, because they don't, for a lot of women, they don't want to be responsible for the financial burden within the relationship. Especially if they're going to have a family, they don't want to. And it's not that they can't do that, but they just don't want to. And I think a lot of guys are like, well, one, it's way harder to survive on one income, because most households need two incomes. Back in the day, I don't know what's like in Russia, but back in the day in this country, like 50, 60 years ago, the average factory job would support a family of 5. Now the average job today gives you a house share of 5. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of guys are like, well, they can't be that sole provider anyway. Like, she's going to have to bring something to the table. But a lot of women would rather that they are. And then let's say if a man gets to a point where he can do that, which is very rare, like most people can't do that. It's only like top 20% of earners that can actually do that. He's going, well, he's not going to just ask for just a normal woman for a normal relationship. He's like, okay, well, he might ask for her to be exceptional in certain ways, because he feels he's bringing something exceptional to the table now that used to be the average man could do, but the average guy can't do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't want to say but. It sounds like
No.
I know, but
Yeah, you can if you want. That's why we're here.
Yeah,
Tell me how it is, Stasia. Put me in my place.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. You know all the stats, so you're definitely way above.
Sure.
So it's interesting to to actually hear how it is on paper, how we say with percentages of people and everything. But you know how what a big argument.
Yes.
From a woman's side, is that when man provides, for example, and then they have kids and whatever, a woman doesn't work, for example, she obviously raises the kids. Yep. She obviously looks after the house, all that stuff. So she brings a lot with that, for example.
That's valuable. I agree.
Yeah. When we're talking about when there are no kids and no things like that, maybe it's not fair on a man that he would be, he would be taking care of everything financially. It's hard because obviously these relationships, there's all the two camps here.
Yes.
One camp is those people who, both woman and a man, they're ready. He ready to provide, she's ready not to provide, and live like that, and they both happy, and this is what they both want.
Very true.
And another camp where they don't want it, whatever.
Yes.
And then if you didn't agree on something in the beginning, going into a relationship and just don't go for it. If you don't want to be the only provider, and she wants you to be the only provider, you're not gonna work. Yeah, maybe she can change her way of thinking about it. Yeah, but if not, how are you gonna make it work?
Yeah,
because
and I agree. So, just a question, curiosity: do you find from your own experience, your female friends, let's say in Russia and here, do you see a difference in what let's say what girls in Russia look for in a guy compared to what girls here look for in a guy? Is there a difference or the same? What's your experience with that?
Good question. Well, I do feel like Russian girls are spoiled and pretty.
Okay. Ladies are like, we need to get to Russia.
Yeah. Because not all of them, but the majority again, probably looking for a man who can provide, if we're talking about generally,
I understand.
Not all of them though. There's some really hard working women who are not looking for that. But if we're talking about majorities,
yes.
So I think that in Russia it's more than women are looking for a provider.
Got you.
And here it's they working, and then they're like, I want someone, at least someone, please. It's more I've built a beautiful career and whatever. I just want a partner.
Yes.
I want just, I've done my career. I need a family. More of women here are doing that. This is why, from my perspective and why.
I get that. I agree with you. Obviously, I can't speak on the Russia, girls in Russia, obviously. I've never been. I've seen,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And this is my anecdotal experience. I'm not saying it's the majority or minority, but I've seen girls I know who the biggest boss babes, got their own business. They're hustling. They're they're really on it. They're killing it, doing really well. They get to 29 and they go, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. I want a guy to come in and take this pressure off. I'm tired of doing it for myself. And not saying that they go, okay, cool, I now want to just be a lazy man at home. Not saying a stay-at-home mom is lazy, but not saying that I just want to laze around at home. But they want someone to come in and take on the, I don't say burden, responsibility for them, so that they can choose to live a more work lifestyle that they would want, essentially. And so I'm just saying, even with the most boss girls that I've seen, and sure, may have just been the few that I know, but I could show you messages where a girl, she turned 29, she's looking at 30, wants kids, and she's just yeah, I'm tired, but I don't want to do this anymore. I want to just, and they're just being completely straight, completely transparent. They're like, I want a guy to come in and do it for me. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't care. I said it. And I think as well, a lot of women here feel they're not allowed to express that because there's this whole, you have to go out and get it as a woman.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women feel this pressure of you have to be strong, independent, you have to be career
Yeah.
driven and stuff like that. So a lot of women, some women genuinely want that, and they're like, that's my path for life, all the power to them. But I think some women have enjoy that for like a little bit, but they realize the stress that it comes with, the responsibility, the burden it comes with. And it's funny because you're just providing for yourself, really.
Yeah.
You're just being an adult. But when they're thinking about family, they're like, I don't have to do this for myself and someone else and then kids. I want him to be able to do that. And I think they don't feel they have the permission to share that perspective because there's this narrative of, well, if you do that, then you're a lazy girl or whatever. But the irony is, I guess, the kind of guy who can do that, he's looking for a woman who wants to do that role. Because he's like, well, you know, then we're compatible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like in general, there is a lot of pressure on both men and women.
Yes, that's fair. I think that's fair.
The thing is, like, all this feminist ways, not ways, like
rhetoric.
Yeah. Some of it I agree completely. Yep. I don't want to sound like I don't like women or something, but I do see that, you know, this pressure that women feel. Like, for example, it used to be a pressure of, I'm sitting at home raising kids. I don't want it. I also want to work. I also want this and that. They now maybe being more heard. Now they building their careers and everything, which is amazing. But then they like, oh my God, okay, I don't want to do it. I want a man to come and do it. Which they have that, not right. They can't say that. They can be like, oh my God, I don't want. But I feel like men, automatically, they don't have that.
No, we don't.
Yeah, so it's like,
I've not seen any guy be like, I want to be a stay-at-home dad. I want a woman to come in and provide for me.
No, some of them do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are those men
I know
like?
a few. I don't know. I'm not close with them, but
that's why she's like, I know a few, but I am not close with them.
I just know a few. And I'm not judging them. Like, it's whatever works for your relationship. But I do feel like men get that, just like, you work and that's it. And like silence, and we work. We work in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, and for everyone, for myself, and I hope they, and I think they are gonna be heard as well at some point. And they are getting more heard as well. And I feel like it's all, you know, for me, what it looks like, it's like it becomes this mess where everyone is just like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that in the society.
Yeah.
And then slowly, like with mistakes, with the different disagreements and arguments and cancelled people for whatever they said and everything, you know, they get into a path where, okay, we're a bit more stable. Yes. You have more things. You can say more things now. I can say more things. You can do more things. I can do more things. And we can talk and we can agree and we can, you know?
Yes.
If before it was more traditional and you kind of, you didn't, like in Russia, for example, you didn't talk about things like that. Like, I'm sorry, man works on a factory.
Yes.
A woman, like, maybe works as well, but also, like, stays with kids and, like, doing all that stuff, like, cooks for husband when he comes back from work. No one would speak about it. Then it went to a little, like, messy stage where the society was like, oh, from both sides.
Yes.
And then slowly, like, you know, we live in a different world now. So it becomes more seen, everyone becomes more heard. And I feel like people are always going to be questioning certain things because it doesn't matter which way it's going to go. People get tired of things.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just whatever works for a relationship for you. And if you decided to like swap or change, you go work, I stay with you, whatever, it's fine if it works for you.
Yeah. Because ultimately you're both a team, right? So and sometimes those roles can switch depending on what's happening in someone's career at whatever stage. So obviously we have the whole thing of like the man, quote unquote, being the provider and maybe the woman looking after the home. We know that's, when I say normal, that's always been a thing. It's a lot more common nowadays, especially because of cost of living, where both of them work, right? So I would say like 50-50, I would say, right? And I'm not just talking financials, but I mean just kind of the responsibilities they take in the relationship. do you think where maybe she is more the provider and he's more of the stay at home, like we just said, do you think that will ever become part of the norm as well?
But what's not normal about it?
Well, I don't think it's common.
Oh, it's not.
As in, like, I don't think, like, I've never heard a guy say, I want to be a stay at home dad. I've never heard it. I'm not saying they're not out there.
I have. Yeah, that's why I'm.
Yeah. And I've also heard one girl say that she would have a stay at home husband. And then she changed her mind a year later when she turned 30. But I've heard one girl say that she even changed her mind. But I've never heard a woman say, yeah, I want a stay at home husband.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean, as in, do you think it will ever get to a point where that becomes part of the norm of what we see, where she's the provider and he does stay at home?
Obviously, I can't say because I don't know what it's going to be because, you know, like...
We're all guesstimating at this point.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I wouldn't say like we would live in a world like that. And, you know, every day I'm like, oh, what's happening?
That's a good point.
It's like changes.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, maybe. People like all sorts of stuff and they get used to all sorts of stuff. So maybe. Yeah. Why not? But it's it doesn't mean that I agree to whatever's going to be, I like it or I want it or whatever.
Sure.
But everything can happen.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Well, I think it wouldn't happen en masse. I think there's exceptions to the rule, and I'd be happy to be proven wrong. I just think, like I said, I think even when I've seen the most strong boss babes and stuff, like boss girl boss, especially if we're talking about having a family, they just don't want that responsibility. They just don't want that burden on their shoulders. I think, like I said, there's always exceptions to every rule. There is actually this guy, what's his name? There's this guy on Instagram who is a stay-at-home dad. And he's very big. And he's very much like, he's very in touch with his feminine. He's very sensitive. And he makes content for women, you know, and he makes some decent content. I think a little bit pandering, but some stuff in there is pretty good. I think he's a stay-at-home dad. And I could tell. It sounds so bad. I'm not judging. I was speaking to one of my mentors she's a dating coach, very big in the space. And I remember being like, there's something about this guy just irks me. I saw his content and he makes some decent content. He's got a big following. I was like, there's something about him that just irks me. I don't know what it is. And then I saw him making this video reel, and he was like, you know, like, I'm a stay-at-home husband. My wife works. She's the provider and stuff. And I was like, that's what it is. And it's not a judging thing. I think I come from Nigerian households, so quite a traditional background and stuff. And so I think I could tell he didn't strike me as the kind of guy that I could go to war with.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Oof. I just felt like, I don't know if this guy would have... Like, I don't know if he would have our back. He's like the guy that would run to save his own skin. Maybe that's a wrong judgment to make, but I got that kind of energy from him. And then it wasn't that, because he's a stay-at-home husband, that's why he's like that. When he said he's a stay-at-home husband, I was like, of course you are. That makes sense for you. I don't know why. It sounds like I'm judging. I probably am judging. I don't know what it is.
Maybe you are judging.
I'm probably judging. Sorry. I need to check myself
I'm not
a
judging
little bit.
though.
I shouldn't judge.
I'm a good one.
I shouldn't. I'm not. I'm clearly the devil on the shoulder. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because he just felt.
Maybe he's just that type of person.
Just felt too relaxed. I was like,
are you jealous? just
maybe
be
I'm
honest.
jealous. Maybe I'm jealous. I'm like, I want a woman to come in and provide for me. Stasia, you've done some therapy on me.
Okay,
I appreciate it. Send me an invoice. Maybe I'm just jealous. I don't know what it is.
Good. We got to. You see, you just need to like dig a bit more and
No, I'm not jealous. I don't know. I think because I don't know. But I guess for me, because my dad, you know, he was the man of the house and he did provide that security and frame for everyone. He was the kind of person that when people needed help, they would go to him. And it was like, oh, you know, my dad's name, his name was Shola. And it's like, oh, when Shola's here, everything's going to be fine. And I really want to be that for my family. So I really want to be like, cool, you know, I don't mind taking on that kind of burden responsibility so that the people I love feel safe and secure.
Yeah, but it's because you were growing up seeing that. You know how many kids, unfortunately,
True.
they grow up without dads and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
you can't really require from a person who hasn't ever seen it
I agree.
the same.
But I'm saying I think I find it admirable though.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah,
probably
because
need to check myself a bit. Yeah.
some families, for example, the guy would grow up without a dad, and then he sees his mom being strong and his mom being the one,
Yep.
and then I don't know what he's gonna. No, there's probably like a so how they grow up, like with what, I just don't know for sure, so I don't want to say it.
Yes.
But they would see a woman being strong, and then I don't know how their dating scene is going to be.
Yeah. So I don't want to make this about me. So like my mum is that strong woman though, as in like
so
she's had a very successful career. She's just published a book written by Penguin, sales director for big corporate companies. My parents divorced when I was young. Maybe that's why. But my mom was very much that successful, independent woman, which is why her and my dad didn't work, because my dad is a typical Nigerian man, and etc. I think anyway. Love them both dearly. But yeah, I guess for me, and maybe it's because I'm a man, so I kind of resonate. Okay, what was the man in my life? What was his role? Yeah. I guess maybe I aspire to that. Enough about me.
Okay.
You have you had some stuff you wanted to talk about, some questions you want to bring to conversation.
Let me read them from my phone.
Yeah, go for it. Go for
I got them ready.
Go for it.
So, I mean, I feel like we went quite deep, and like my questions are no.
That's all right.
I wish I knew.
We can cover all bases, Stasia.
Yeah, it's
Don't
okay.
you worry about it. No judgment.
Okay. Well, actually, like my second question, I'm gonna start from that one. I think it's kind of relate. Are relationships today too focused on who's winning instead of how we're growing?
So true. I think.
So like it's actually, we've been talking about divorces.
Yes.
We already it's wise,
You're
but
right.
you're already looking like, wow. It's good to plan. But yeah, it's just, how about the process? How about the process not to make that happen, for example? And yeah.
Yeah. I think dating is definitely like that. I think people are thinking about how they can win and have the leverage.
Yeah.
I think both men and women do that. And ultimately, they do that to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think there seems to be this gender war between men and women over the past 10, 15 years, especially over the past 5 years, I'd say, when it comes to dating. Men are saying women aren't, traditional, women aren't, like wife worthy anymore. Women are saying like men are trash, or like they don't want to commit, they don't want to step up, they're not chivalrous. So it seems to be this like gender war, but then the irony is, it's like there's this gender war, but men and women still want each other.
Yeah.
So it's like they're engaging in relationships with a knife tucked behind their back, as in, just in case I can protect myself. And I think there's just been a lot of trust that has been destroyed or broken between men and women today.
Why?
I want to do for both sides. We'll start with the women. I think women have lost trust in men because some men have not stepped up to the plate as fathers as they've needed to. So they've not had good examples. They've not had good examples. They don't know how to choose. And I think they've chosen men who are toxic. There are some men who are toxic. And because those men haven't treated them very well, they're now wearing their independence and capabilities as a badge of armor. Not saying a woman shouldn't be independent, not saying she shouldn't be strong, absolutely. But I think a lot of it comes from trying to protect themselves. So I think for women, it's how men in their lives have failed them. I think for men, it's them seeing what their fathers and uncles have gone through, as well as kind of being told, well, you're not valuable as a man unless you provide X, Y, and Z. So I think women have lost trust in men because they've not had good examples, and then if they haven't been with good men, if they've not chosen good men, then they go, cool, that's their frame of reference in terms of men in general.
Yeah.
And then guys are looking at women going, well, she's asking for X, Y, and Z. And then if I work my ass off to become that, she can still screw me anyway. And what we're seeing is that 80% of the time, she is going to screw you. I don't know how that even started. If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
I think it might be
Go on, what am I missing?
kind of always there, but people just talk more and share more now. And it's like more of a, obviously, the whole internet thing,
Yeah.
social media, and everyone's more open, and all these influencers like being super open about their relationships and whatever. You know, you see more and you compare more and you're like, oh, okay.
I think social media has actually made it worse, because I think people do compare.
I think it's like, maybe it's 50-50, because yeah, it made it worse, but at the same time, it used to be like no one would talk that much. And then you think, for example, he beats me up. I don't know, like, it's fine. No one talks that. That's not fine.
Right.
It's okay. And we see those happy relationships, but in fact, you just don't say it.
You just don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't have anything to compare with, and you're like, okay, that might be normal.
Yeah.
Maybe he beats her up and they're fine, and no one says anything. No one, punishes anyone, like puts anyone to jail or whatever. Maybe it's okay. So, and now we talk about things more and we compare, but we obviously, when something new is coming, it's always going to be a good side and a bad side.
Yes.
I feel like it's also like, sorry, I'm hungry, and I'm like, I hope you can hear it.
That's all right. No, we're good.
Yeah, but what was I saying?
It's good side, bad
a
side.
good side and a bad side.
Yes.
And obviously, yes, people are comparing and thinking of how to say it, like a perfect relationship.
Right.
And they're like, oh my God, mine's not perfect. But then at the same time, they're looking at their relationship where someone's like abuse and all of that, and then comparing, and they hear, like, listening to people talking about it and everything, and like, oh my God, that's not okay then. So, it goes like bad and good as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a married woman.
I am.
You're a married woman. Been married for 4 years?
So,
or together for 4 years?
No, we've been together we have like a crazy story, but yeah, we've been married for 3.5 years and together for like 4 years.
Okay. Like, so you guys got married pretty swiftly.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there are a lot of women who are like, they want marriage, X, Y, and Z, and they're like, Stasia, how? Where did you find this guy? What did you do? So what is the story like? Why do you think, for you, what does it mean to be with a man, and that actually led to marriage? And how do you show up in that way? And do you think that's specific for you, or do you think this is specific for, this would help women with men in general?
Well, my story is a bit different because we're from different countries and everything. So for us, like, the only way it would work if we live together. Obviously, I'm from Russia, he's from here, and it's just no. And when you're that in love in the beginning, all the chemistry happening, like really hitting you hard and everything.
Yeah.
Then, so we got married. So we knew each other for whatever, how many years, like 2 years maybe. We never spoken, and then we started like really speaking, and then in like half a year we got married, maybe like that. And in this half a year, like, it just felt really right. I love to judge my decisions. I'm very there is a word for it.
Reflective.
Reflective. I'm very reflective, and good and bad again, you
Sure.
know. Probably gonna watch that podcast and be like, just because I'm extremely reflective.
Nah, you've been giving some real. We love it. It's been
And
great.
I've been reflecting on him, on relationship, and it just felt right.
Mhm.
And yeah, we got married, and we moved together straight away. So we jumped into it,
Right.
and it's another way to do it.
Mm.
You can do it like that. You can jump into it and then work. And then the only risk, obviously, you have is that you're married and you have all that paper stuff and divorce and whatever. Yeah, that's
Sure.
another thing. But in general, to know each other, you can jump into it
Mhm.
while you love each other. Why not? You can make it work. You can make, like, while you love each other, your arguments are gonna be more emotional in the beginning or something. But you get to know each other with love, with this like chemistry in the beginning, and
True.
get to, you know, with all the house stuff and whatever.
Yep.
And then that's it. And then obviously in a marriage, naturally, as you're in a relationship, it's gonna all come down a little bit. But you work those things out, they work, it's fine. Just
Mm.
because you jumped. Or obviously you can go a bit slower, also works.
Mm.
But sometimes I feel like when people, it's very hard thing. I feel like I'm again going off topic, but
No, go for it.
people need to like psychological, how the relationship and the marriage goes.
Yep.
It starts like that, and then it goes a bit like more to calmer emotions, calmer feelings, and but
Yes.
stronger.
Yeah.
And people sometimes misjudge it and think that that's the love is gone.
Ah, yes.
And this is what I mean. And marriage is so much more than. And you definitely heard of that. I don't know if you like. For me, I'm 25, so I've been thinking about these things for the last maybe 5 years.
Yes.
So I haven't been thinking for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm only getting to know like about the, you know, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
And I definitely see that what we thought when we were younger, like, oh my God, this is the love gone, or things like that. This is just a natural change to friendship, to relationship, to
Yes.
a relationship with parents, like any type of relationship. It changes
Yes.
in a different directions.
Yeah.
So for me, jumping into a marriage when I'm actually on the peak with all my emotions, it felt right. It proved from my side that, and from his side to me, that I love you, I'm ready. Yeah. So if there is a marriage, then I think for the marriage to happen on this peak is good. It's like such a celebration of your love, of your relationship anyway, of your partnership. And then that's it.
Yeah.
This is
What do
how
you
I feel.
think for him, you know, what do you think for him made him go, yeah, I'm going to jump in with you?
Well, hopefully the same. But I can't, like, you know, I can't say from his side.
Yeah.
So I wish like I could just be like, oh,
Just like, what
yeah.
made you just want to marry me,
Just,
babe?
yeah,
What
no
made
one's
you wanna marry me?
listening. Just let me know.
I think the reason, because, you know, and that's such a beautiful story, and it's so lovely to hear that for sure. I think a lot of women would be like, I would love that. You know?
But you never know how it's going to end. I mean, I
Sure.
love him and he loves me and we're working on the relationship, but you never know. So yeah, it's a lovely
There's no
story.
guarantee.
I really hope that we're going to work for it to work.
Yeah.
But you never know how it's going to end. But sorry, you were
No,
saying something.
100%. Now, I guess, because I think, because a lot of women want to get married, I think men are looking for security in terms of marriage. And so some guys, I met a lot of guys that I want to get married, but I just don't trust it. And so that's why I was asking, you know, what's something that either your husband had, or something that maybe how you guys dated, or maybe how you show up, that gave him that security and reassurance that, yeah, I can, even if she changes, I can trust I can trust her, essentially. And I think that's what guys are like. They're like, they don't know if they can, because who you are today may not be who you are in a year's time.
This is what I mean. And that's actually scary. And I thought about it as well, but you know, okay, well, there are a lot of scary things in the world.
Yeah.
What can we do? Yeah, okay, well, it might go bad, but it's life. It's fine. It might be like that. You can't be safe about everything. It's just just don't go out then. Just don't go out of your flat, and you may be gonna be safe, but even then you're not gonna be safe.
It's true.
So overthinking everything and being like, yes, you have to be reasonable. It's not like I'm saying, oh no, don't think about it, like YOLO or whatever.
Yeah.
But it should be balance. I think everything is about balance, and that's my, what's it called, credo? Is it credo? Like the thing that you
Motto?
say to yourself. Oh yeah.
Motto.
Sorry. What's credo?
Yeah, I got you.
Is there a word?
We can say credo. We can say credo.
What do I
we'll
call
say
it?
credo
Yes.
for you.
Yes,
Yeah,
credo.
we'll take that.
Yeah. So that's my
Motto.
motto. Okay.
Got you. I got you.
That what was I saying? That's my motto. That it's about balance.
Sure.
Like everything
comes with risk.
Yeah, and it's the hardest thing to be balanced because it's not only down to you.
Yes.
But it's an amazing thing if you can achieve balance and things like that. So you should know your risks, but it doesn't mean that you can't risk.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
You know.
Is this and like I said, you don't have to answer anything you don't want to. Is this your longest relationship with a man? Your husband?
Now, yes, just about. It passed the longest relationship.
And then she's out of here.
Tick,
Cool,
tick.
done it. Got absolute tick. On to the next one.
But I found out, by the way, why? Because my
go on.
previous relationship were like 2.5 years. And I found out for myself, reflecting and whatever, that my relationships ended because we just, both of us didn't go through the crisis. Like, every relationship has a crisis point at some point. I just didn't go through them. I was like, bye, see ya.
Oh, so as in like you didn't work through it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So you feel like, oh, something is a bit awful, whatever. And it's like, it wasn't like I didn't break up because of like really big red flags or like disrespecting, like, I broke up because something was off and I was like, okay. And I just, because I was young and I was like really like, did not really care.
Yes.
I was like, I'd rather I just say bye to because something feels off. It's easier and it was how it worked for me.
Yes.
But then when you think about it, if you're going to get into this loop of doing that all the time, you're just going to end up doing it all the time.
All the time.
You're going to be like, 2.5 years, 3 years, bye. Something is off. You're not my person. But it's a crisis.
It's
just
true.
Think about it. Like, you need to consider that.
So for those who don't know, what is that crisis period that you're talking about? Okay, this is something to work through and it's actually normal. What is that?
I'm not a psychologist, but from what I've read about it, I've heard about it from some psychologists as well, and that I know that you have. So obviously, first bit is a chemistry beat, and you're madly in love with each other. Then you hate this, like, we live together. I hate his dirty socks, and I hate this, and I hate that, and then you're like, oh, okay, something is off. Let me leave. But this is not. It's just you coming down a little bit. Your hormones are coming down a little bit, and then you're just facing life. If you can't commit into it and work out, you can work out, like work. If you both ready, you easily work your borders and what you like, what you don't like, and you find balance.
Yes.
But if you're gonna be like, if one person not ready, then it's harder. You can't really, work it out. And then when this is when people leave. But when you don't know about this being like a natural thing, then you originally look at it like, oh my god, something is really off. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna leave. Yeah. But then you're gonna leave everyone, as I said. Yeah. And this first bit, I think, comes, as I know, like in a few years, 2.5 years, the first crisis or something, 2.5 or 3 years. I might be wrong. As this is how I remember. But there is like actually like years into this scheme, like whatever.
Yeah.
Then like 5 years, then like 10 years, things. And it's all different. It's all different things. And it happens to, and very cool thing that actually social media gives us, that you can see that it's not just you.
Yes.
It's a pattern. True. And this will make psychologists make like conclusions about crises, because we'll take an average and oh my god, they had it after like 3 years, they after 4, after 2.5. Okay, so this was the first. Then they decided to divorce or something after 5 years. Then they worked it out, and then after 10 years, like these 10,000 couples decided to do it, and so there is a pattern to it. Yeah. And yes, sometimes those crises you don't go through them, maybe because you're not meant to, maybe because at that point you do understand that you're really different and whatever.
Yes.
But it's easier to go into it when you know that
When
it's
you know.
not just you don't love anyone, but it's like a change.
Yeah. I think so many people don't know that. And you're so
100%.
right in a sense that people go through that crisis point and then they go, oh, something's wrong with this relationship. And then that's actually, it's funny because there's I have to give credit to him. There's a psychologist called Orion Taraban. He's really big on YouTube, Psych Hacks. Really good book. And in his book, he talks about this, he says there's different stages in a relationship, and he calls it the disillusionment phase, which happens anywhere between 18 to 36 months, which is a year and a half to 3 years. And it's where the honeymoon period has ended.
Yeah.
You're no longer projecting what you fell in love with about the person. You're now actually seeing the person. And it's kind of like his words, not mine. It's a small dying of the fantasy you built in your head that you fell in love with the person. And now you're seeing them for who they are, all the great things, but all their flaws. And he's like, that's when the relationship starts.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't make it through that point because, like you said, they think they're just falling out of love.
It's
They're like,
hard.
something's not right. I think what you said actually there is really valuable for sure. How did you get to a point where you could go in eyes open, recognizing that what it was? And did you and your husband have that same period as well?
Well, I thought about it because I actually heard about it at some point. It was either in the beginning of our relationship with him, or maybe in between of my previous relationship with. Anyway, I heard it from somewhere, like from a psychologist or something.
Yes.
And I was like, and I take those things in, and then I project them on myself, and I'm like looking, okay, so I heard about this crisis. Actually, why do I end all my relationships at this point? And then I think, and then I'm, oh my God, okay, actually. So this is how I found out, because I heard about it.
Yes.
And project on myself and realized that, yeah. And then in terms of if we had of course you meet some, it wasn't, for us, it wasn't like a big, like it didn't feel that big.
Okay.
It was a moment where we would be like, I fantasized something about him, he fantasized like how I am, and then we're like, here we are, all real and all like straight about what we want, what we don't like, what we like.
Yes.
And then obviously we had a few arguments about things. Of course,
that's normal.
Of course, and but thanks to him as well, he's older than me. He's just, and this is what I mean. This is why I trust him, because I seen how he put effort to actually go past these things. He didn't agree to everything, like to everything I didn't like. I saw it. Yeah. But he really put a lot of effort into making it work. I did as well for his things, but I feel like he done more.
Props to you, bro. I respect it.
Like, yeah, but and that made this crisis not to be as, I would say, like seemable or whatever.
Significant.
Yeah. So it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like, it was just a few arguments about things that just connected later. You can't really, people say you, before like jumping into a marriage, getting married, or like whatever, or getting into a relationship, you should discuss like which family whoever comes from, what they friends like, whatever. But you can't predict everything. Again.
You can't. No,
you can't. Then you find out things, and you can't really also sacrifice a relationship because of one thing you don't like and you don't agree. Yes. And when I don't like something, I also understand that it doesn't mean that I'm right. It just means that for me and how I was growing up and how I seen things, it's not right. And if he wouldn't agree to like all of it, I don't know if it would work. It's all about making compromises as well. Yeah. So it's a big thing. It's the relationships and all this crisis. It's hard, and especially like for me, for example, I know now, but even when I know, it's a hard thing. Yeah. But imagine like people don't know. I don't know how they get through that. They just,
I think they don't.
Maybe, yeah.
I think they don't, and I think it takes so much, not just accountability, but the humility to go, I might be wrong. Yeah. The humility to be like, and both of you have to have, and like, honestly, it's so beautiful to hear that. Like, credit to you and your husband, because I think it's just so real about that's how successful relationships and marriages are built. It's the commitment to making that work. And
100%.
if you've just got one person going, yeah, maybe actually that is me, but the other person isn't doing that, it becomes very tyrannical one side.
Yep.
So I guess my question for you is, do you think that obviously you want to be with the right person? We talk about the right person, someone that you have that chemistry with, you're in alignment in certain things, they show up for in a way that you value. Do you think that the aspect of the commitment to work through those things is actually equally as important than just someone that you love?
Well, if you're asking me if a marriage could work if people are just people don't have love but have commitment, is that
Let's say, okay, let's say out of 100,
yeah?
okay, I'm just gonna say, you don't have to answer, right? Let's say for your marriage husband, love is 100, commitment
Yeah.
is 100. That's why it's there.
Uh-huh.
I think for a lot of people, the love can start as 100, but the commitment is at 40.
Mm.
So when the love fluctuates,
Mm.
as it will, that's when it ends because the commitment is only at
Yeah.
40. Do you think a marriage or relationship can work if the commitment is 100, but the love is like 70?
I do think so, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of couples, married couples, they even like agree to things like, okay, I'm gonna follow and enjoy my feelings, not with you, but we're
Mm,
still staying in the marriage because of this,
mm,
that, because
right.
they have that commitment of whatever,
Yeah.
because it's like comfortable for, and again, it works for both of them.
Yes.
And if when I was young, I was like judging, I was like, oh my God, what do you mean? What do you mean by real love and everything?
Mm,
But it's all a bit more complicated than that.
yeah.
And again, we said about when you're together for too long, the love is different.
Yes.
And that love is obviously love is different for everyone, but it's just, yeah, those like the chemistry is different.
Yes.
And it's on a different level and about different things. And I do think that it can work with just a commitment, 100%. And plus, don't forget the marriage is like arranged,
Like an arranged marriage?
arranged marriage, yeah.
Yeah.
Like things like that, they happen all the time,
And they're very successful long
Yeah.
term, ironically, because they have that commitment. And then often the love comes after the commitment has been made.
yeah.
Ironically. Yeah, it's so interesting. How, for you, because I think, we believe in true love, and we grow up on, and guys included, on this, like the fantasy of
Yeah.
it's supposed to be easy, and everything's supposed to be, for you. And I ask this because I know for guys, I think guys get a very I want to say cold awakening through their experiences through dating different women. I think in terms of, because the fantasy that guys are sold is that she's gonna love you just for you. And then the cold reality, especially when, as a young adult, many guys experience is that no, there's kind of some tangible things that you have to be able to bring to the table for her to choose you. She may like you, but she's not going to choose you just because you have a great personality, right? And I think I'm asking because I want you to give the female perspective, because I think it seems like a lot of women still believe in that romantic fairy tale of, I'm just going to meet the perfect guy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a perfect guy for me and it's going to be easy and I'm not have to do anything, etc. So for you, and because you're young, you're 25, right? So you're still a young woman. What broke that fantasy? Like what essentially, what gave you the insight and the lens of, oh no, this is actually how a real relationship is built, to let that romantic fantasy go, I guess?
I don't know if something actually happened. It's just I met a person who I got married to, and then I just started to find out things about relationships and marriages, because that's my first marriage.
Yeah.
And I also still learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
And my way of learning is just listening to more things, reading more things, and just finding out about things. So I think just watching series, and even series now, to be honest, nowadays, sometimes they show really good things. Like you just watch and you're like, and you just think about things. If you can think, if your brain works like that, like reflecting and everything, then you would naturally do that. I know not everyone's like that, but then if you don't want to, you wouldn't. That's the thing. Sometimes people like living in fantasies. And, you know, and I like when you said about men and women both, they live in those fantasies and being just like, yeah, okay, well, I really want a relationship, but I'm just gonna, you know, they get to a point where they can't get into a relationship.
Yes.
And instead of, I also don't think that looking for a relationship is also, for me, it doesn't feel natural. I've never done that, so I can't really judge about it.
You've
don't
not
know
had
much.
to do that, Stasia. Some people, some of us out here, some people need to be as intentional as they can.
Anyway, so yeah, I can't really say, because my relationships always found me. If it makes sense.
He who finds a wife finds a good thing.
It's just like, no, I always like, all my relationships, I just met someone. I didn't look for it. And I always used to give all my girlfriends an advice that don't look for it. But I'm sorry, I was giving that advice when I was how old? Like from my teenage age
I'm gonna be honest with you. And I know we've only met the past hour, but I think that you, either through your own reflection, through work you've done in yourself, as well as your cultural upbringing, it's a combination of all these things, you very quickly, as a young woman, became the kind of woman who attracts a husband, which is why you've always been found. And I think that, that's a credit to you. Also, because like you said, you always reflect, and there is a level of humility, but the benefit of the humility is that you grow and become more of the person that you can, right? And the results will show that. And I think for a lot of women who maybe aren't naturally inclined that way because of maybe their own upbringing, because of maybe their own mindset towards things, them just sitting there waiting to be found doesn't work for them, because they haven't become the woman that a man is looking to find. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My producer's is clapping. And so that's why I'm asking. And it may be hard for you, because you're like, well, this is just natural for me. This is just who I am. It's like you're giving advice that worked for you, but the kind of women you are, a lot of women aren't that. Yeah. In the nicest way possible. So I guess
we have to be realistic about ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to be like, if I'm gonna be a dick, if I'm gonna be not nice and whatever, no one's gonna find you. And it's just
yeah, for sure. There was one thing I wanted to ask you. Oh, you said, we were talking about, we are going back a bit, but I think it's really valuable for us to touch on this. You said about the crisis phase, working through that, you both having the commitment to work through that. What do you get at the end of that? What is it for?
Oh, just not to be lonely in this world, I suppose. I know that we come here by ourselves and we live life by ourselves and whatever. Yeah. But just like, life is beautiful. If you want to enjoy a relationship and you like, and you would like to live your life in a partnership, then this is what it's for. Yes. For a really pleasant, nice partnership. Because some people don't want to. Some people don't need that partnership, and it's fine. Yeah. And then they just enjoy the different relationships, different people, and everything is fine. Yes. But some people want this partnership, like they want to grow together again, like about growth. And then you commit to it from both sides to grow something like that, like a really, really enjoyable partnership, which again, people can enjoy life without having that partnership, or they can enjoy in a partnership. And I suppose this is however you've been brought up, or how you want it and what you think about it, and it's all down to people.
Yeah, 100%. Also, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're a mum.
Yeah.
Do you have a daughter or a son?
A daughter.
You've got a daughter, a beautiful daughter. Obviously, you're 25, married, got a child. For this society, that's like so young. Right?
Do you know how many people I got, like when I was, well, actually it's funny enough, because some woman said to me, oh no, I was a mom already. She was like, she looked at me, she was older, she was like, you look so young to have kids. And I'm like, this sounds weird. Yeah. Like, I am young, okay. But she said it in such, like, with a different
Did she have kids?
emotion. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And this is what I think. Anyway, did you ask me a question or?
No, tell me what you think, and then I'll ask.
Yeah, because it's
Go
like
for it. If something's coming, if it's coming up, Stasia, share it. It's
yeah,
here to
I'm
be
a
shared.
fresh mom.
Yeah.
And I have like a thing that I really, really want to say to the young moms, to young wives, to like the girls and women. Like, listen to people, but judge what they say. Like, don't take it too like,
Take it with a pinch of salt. Take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, 100%. Because the amount of people told me when I was pregnant already, and before I was pregnant, when I just got married, all the women, they were telling me like, oh, you don't need it, you don't need kids, enjoy your life, and this and then. When I was pregnant, they were like, oh my God, it's gonna be so scary. It's gonna be, your life is gonna be over. They literally like said all those things to me. And my pregnancy wasn't planned.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in the beginning, you freak out.
Yeah,
you
of course.
Do. Because it's not because you maybe don't want it, or just because it's a big change to your life, a massive change to your life, especially for a woman.
Yes, of
and
course.
I was listening to all that negative stuff, and I'm the type of person who would listen to negative stuff and be like, yeah, it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I was listening to all these people. I barely had any like positive stuff, and I was like, oh my God,
that's crazy.
Even though it was a happy pregnancy for me, but I was freaked out. I was like, the baby's gonna come, I'm never gonna get my life back. I was terrified because I'm that type of person. I'm also a dancer. I'm also, for me it's very important that I still do those things. And I thought that's it. Forget it. And then I gave birth, and the giving birth wasn't that bad. It's my experience. Obviously, everyone go through a horrible. Sometimes women go through a really horrible experience, but I didn't.
Yes.
So that didn't affect me. Like what they were saying, that the giving birth is going to be so horrible. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yes.
But not as crazy as they would tell me.
Yeah.
Then the first 3 months they say of having a baby, oh, it's going to be so horrible. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I was like a bit sleepless, whatever. It wasn't that horrible. Then they're like, oh, they're going to start walking and crawling as well. We enjoying every step of her growing. Yeah. We enjoying. Yes, I am sometimes tired and I want to get out of there and like go do my thing. It's normal. Yeah. In general, I'm enjoying. It's not that bad.
Yeah. But
people have been telling me horrible things about everything, about marriage, about kids. And this is... where did we start?
Yeah.
I got carried away. It was sitting here with me for a long time. I've been telling it to people, but obviously not to a lot of people.
Yes.
And it's very important that you don't listen to everything people say to you. You have your own experience. And you never know how it's going to turn. Maybe it's going to be even worse. Yeah, okay. But maybe it's not going to be even worse. Maybe it's going to be much better.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I just don't like that people do that. Yeah. It's good to share your experience.
Yes.
But don't reflect your experience to other people.
Yeah.
This is not good, because girls like me, okay, I've got my opinion. But even with my strong opinion, I still felt like, oh my God, okay, well, if loads of people telling me. And it's not good. Why would you tell a young girl, like I was 24 when I got pregnant.
Yes.
Why would you tell me these things?
Yeah.
Why would you scare me, terrify me? And, it's just not nice. Not everyone was like that, but the majority was like that.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy how a lot of people, were given their negative, almost dissuading you from doing that because of how young you are. And what I was actually, I was going to say is that I think it's beautiful that you're married, you've got a child, and you're both still young enough to do this, and you're taking this life together. I think it's such a beautiful thing, like genuinely. And it's mad how people are dissuading, especially young women, from doing that at a point in their life where I guess this is when you're probably going to be the most able and capable to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because you are young enough where you can just bounce back. Do you know what I mean? And you can take those things on. I think that probably feeds into why maybe a lot of, I guess I wouldn't know because I'm not a woman, but I guess for a lot of women, why they're very apprehensive to step into doing it. As young as you are.
Yeah, for me, I was really like scared. And obviously I was married and I was thinking about it. I was like, and I don't think if I didn't get pregnant, I don't know where I would have a kid, because I wouldn't be ready for it. It's such a big change. And when you haven't done it before, it's much scary. It's naturally scarier for you. Of course. And obviously I don't mind people sharing your experience. Again, I would listen to every story, a bad story. You don't have to filter.
Yes.
but just don't
Project onto you.
on me. And I love older women's advices. I do think it's really good when they share their experience. But they shouldn't scare. They shouldn't be, because naturally when you're younger, obviously everyone's who's older. My husband is older, so my environment is quite like older women, and
Yeah.
I adore them. They're amazing. The experience, their lives, I love it.
Yes.
But you do feel sometimes that some of them, they speak to you like, you're on the same page and everything, but some of them you can really feel like they're looking at you like, oh, you're younger, let me teach you a lesson or something.
Okay.
They feel like
place of authority almost.
not all of them, but some of them do that naturally, I suppose, and they don't probably realize, because I probably sometimes look like a kid as well when I'm not makeup, so like, like all that.
Yes.
Maybe, but yes, don't scare people.
No, yeah, good for you. Honestly, I think it's an amazing thing. And credit to you, your family, your husband, all of that, and your beautiful little daughter. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
One last thing I wanted to ask you is, what do you feel you've learned about men and being the woman in a man's life that you feel that you know now that you didn't know 5 years ago?
Everything. Because 5 years ago was
just who men are.
Yeah, 5 years ago I was 20, and men for me were like, yeah, we're having fun. Oh my God.
So I mean, you've got a little daughter, right? So let's say she's 16, right? And we're touching wood.
Oh yes.
You're still with your husband. Yeah. You've got a beautiful, happy marriage for the next decades on to go. And you want to give 2 pieces of advice to your daughter about having a relationship with a man. What would you tell her?
Well, I've been thinking about it. Yeah. It's very hard. Obviously, hopefully, because a lot of our expectations from a relationship and how we pick our partners from what you see in your family a lot, like it's affecting it a lot. So I hopefully will give her this advice by being a good example to her. That's the hardest thing, but that's the best thing you probably can give to your kid. But if it would be like just talking to her and telling her, you should have
That's
told me before. Nope. So I can think
about it. I want it in the moment, on the spot, constant. A
moment of me just being
genuine. Like, you take your time. This is your daughter, right?
So this is what I mean. And I've only been with her for 13 months.
Wow.
And I'm like 14 months. Yeah. And I'm like, not enough time to think about it. Just be you and just listen to yourself and just, listen to how you feel about things. Listen to your feelings. Feelings in terms of if you feel something is not right, think about it. Think about it, reflect, whatever. Just, just always, it's not about only man. It's a very general advice that I would give, but it goes to help with the relationships and everything. Listen to yourself, to your feelings. Yeah. Because some people just can't do it. They don't know how. It's easy to say that, like listen to your feelings, but it's
intuition.
Hard. Yeah. And that's the main advice probably. And the second one, and second one, can I leave it to the example of being a good couple with my husband?
Yeah, 100%. Lead by example. Lead by example. Yeah. I think that's beautiful, Stasia. I think that's beautiful. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you for sharing your energy with us. We appreciate you. If people want to find you and follow you, where can they find you?
On Instagram.
Yeah, what's your Instagram? Plug it in for us. Yeah. What's your Instagram?
It's oh God, I need to spell it because no one's gonna find me like that. It's Stasia's Bees, but Stasia's with all S, like not C's, like STASYS. Bees as in bees.
Perfect. So, yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. We'll definitely plug that. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. Thanks
so
for coming on.
Inviting me.
Guys, go give Stasia a follow, give her a like, go check out her stuff, all that good things. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.